Good morning, everyone. How are you? It is Sunday morning here in Australia. I hope you are having a great weekend so far. And it's that time of the month again. I can't believe another month has gone by, and now we're in May. So we're finally getting some autumnish-ish, I say, weather where I live. So it's still warm, like the days can still be about 21, 22 degrees Celsius, but the other day we had 20 degrees Celsius, which meant you could wear a long sleeve, sort of light sweater, which I was very excited about. Anyway, without further ado, it is time to do my currently inked for the month. And last month I used inexpensive pens and pens that cost $60 or under, and that was Australian dollars. And that was a really good exercise just to sort of play around with those pens. I think the top winner for me was actually the Pilot Kukuno and the Kuco Sport. They are my favorite inexpensive pens to use. And then Twisby sort of starts here in Australia about 59.95 and goes all the way up to I think your 580s, and if they're like rose gold and like the white and smoke rose gold, I think they retail for about 160 to $170. But yeah, so the Twisby Ecos are kind of right on that borderline of being almost $60. And I love those pens. You know, I have them as my rainbow pens, and they come in a fun assortment of different colors, and they're always bringing out new releases. So, yeah, that was sort of the three. But I think around that $30 mark was the Pilot Kukuno, and then the Quaker Sports around the 45 to $60 as well. And then the Twisby Eco. So I missed some of my more expensive pens, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They are not necessary to have in your collection. And the other thing I want to really talk about is if you're a new person getting into this hobby, please don't feel like you've got to run out and buy these pens to be part of our fountain pen community. That is not the case. There is a pen for every budget out there. There really is. And I have collected my pens over the last 9, 10 years. So I've had a lot of time to curate what I have, and I've worked out what I really like. There are still pens out there that I've never tried, and I'm quite happy to wait. You know, I don't have to have everything yesterday. I'm quite happy to wait and have that sort of adventure with that pen at another time. So, but one pen that has been on my wish list for probably about 3, maybe even 4 years now, is this one here. So this is the Kuco Brass Sport. I've got the gold, the deluxe gold clip on it. And I've been using this pen this week, and it's already starting to patina, which I love. Now, this pen, as I said, has been on my wish list for a long time. And I think the reason I never bought it before was because it wasn't a limited edition. I knew I could always buy one of these at a later date. So there wasn't that sense of urgency in actually buying it. But when I was going through my wish list the other day, I thought I still really, really want this pen. And I managed to pick it up for a really good price on Amazon. It came with a medium nib. And I've had this one for ages. So this is my Travelers Company brass pen, and I love the way it has patinaed over the years. This is probably about 2 years old now. And so I know that this pen is just indestructible. It's unbelievable. And I was kind of looking for that in the Quaco Sport too. So have added that little brass number to my collection, and very, very happy that I have. But yes, it's been on my wish list for about 4 years. So I finally got it. Anyway, so last month I used a lot of inexpensive pens, which made me miss some of my nicer pens, I guess you could say. And so this month I kind of wanted to give those a whirl. So this is what I'm starting out with. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be sticking with only these pens. I guess if some of them get written dry, I might allow myself to ink up another pen. it'll be a wait and see what happens kind of thing. So I've got my pen cases here with my pens. Um, and got these ones as well. So let's get into it. I'm actually recording in a different part of my house. I'm recording in my bedroom. So, and I'm using a tray table. So, you know, those tray tables that um, people use in hospitals that go over your bed, that's what I'm using to film on today because I thought it might just be better lighting. And this table is the one that we got for my husband when he had his accident and he had that surgery and he had to basically remain in bed. And so we got him this so he could actually work from his bed and for his computer and continue to work. So anyway, I'm going to give it a whirl and see how it turns out. It might be a little bit shaky. So in the comments, please let me know if you prefer my older setup or the new setup, and we'll see what happens. And gosh, it's been minutes already, and I haven't even got into the pens yet. Okay, stop talking, Jane. Okay, so this first one I have here is the beautiful Just Turnings Matte Alaskan Sunrise. This pen is gorgeous and it feels beautiful in the hand because of its matte finish. I actually have a fine yellow nib on this. And some of these inks were inks that I have not used in a really long time. So that was nice to sort of pull out and use as well. It's a yellow ink. Just I'm actually writing on a funny angle as well. Just turnings. And it's the matte Alaskan Sunrise. You're going to hear drills going on, all sorts of different things happening. Our neighborhood has sprung into action. Okay, matte Alaskan Sunrise, concentrate Jane. Fine nib, and it is inked with an ink that I haven't used in a long time, but I absolutely love it. I think it was one of my first yellow inks I got, and it is Robert Oster Honeybee. Now, as you can see from this is a very legible yellow ink. It has a little bit of depth to it, so very legible. It's probably more legible in real life than it is even showing on screen. So I really love that one. The next one we've got here is another Just Turnings pen. It is the Blue Abalone in the Deluxe model. Now, I've put a shimmer ink in this. With my last video, we swatched some ink samples that I had. And this was one of the ink samples, and I really wanted to use it. And I know that these yellow nibs actually perform quite nicely with shimmer inks. Well, I've had success with them. So this is the Just Turnings Deluxe. Oops. It's in the Blue Abalone. Has a medium nib and is inked with, I'm not sure if it's actually coming through yet, Van Diemen's. It was from their underwater series and it's called Parrotfish. So that's the next one we've got here. Now, this is the other Just Turnings one I've got in my lineup this month. This is the custom copper line, and it actually has my platinum 3776 medium nib on it. It's a 14 karat nib. This pen is beautiful. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I love Terenashi's Opera Rose in this pen. However, I think I found a new favorite pairing for it. What are we thinking of the colors that I'm using so far? Just turnings. This one is custom, upper line. It has the 14 karat medium nib and is inked with Robert Oster Cafe Crema. Just beautiful. And it sort of goes with those darker sort of hues of the copper pen, like particularly here. So, oh, sorry, I should move that away so you can see a bit better. Just lovely. The next one we've got here, and I have missed using this pen. This is a favorite pen of mine. This is the Pilot Vanishing Point in the black and gold. It has a fine nib on it, and this used to be my son's pen. So we did a bit of a swap. So I think it has sentimental memories sort of attached to it. But it's also just a beautiful pen to write with. So this one is in black and gold. It has an 18 karat fine nib and is inked with Pilot Rushzuku. And this one is Shinkai, which is just a lovely, nice blue. It would probably be a good ink to use for work, actually. It's sort of like that professional sort of looking, that blue or black. So that's that one. I'm losing my voice. The next one we have here, sorry, excuse me, everyone. I'm losing my voice. Now let me just have a sip of my tea and see if that helps. Okay. So this next one here is the Sailor 1911S. Now, I actually had a black body on this before and I was going to sell it or give it away to someone. And then I saw that Stephen of Just Turnings was because he likes the gold nibs and he puts them in some of his pens, bespoke pens that he makes. So if you're looking for a gold nib, Stephen does do that. So I should let you know that too. But anyway, he was selling just the bodies of these pens and they were very inexpensive. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get one and put a different, I guess, dress on my pen and see if I like it. And I'm so glad I did. It's like I have a new pen, but for a very, very small cost. So this one actually has a 14 karat broad nib on it. And I'm just having a look. This is actually one of the inks that we swatched too that I said that I really liked. So it's the Sailor 1911S. I'm just going to call it Burgundy. I don't actually know what it's called in real life, the pen body. So I'm just going to say Burgundy Gold. It has a 14 karat broad nib on it and is inked with Sailor Ink Studio. And it is, let me just double check so I don't write the wrong thing down. Yep, 435. It's a gorgeous color. Now, next we have is the Esther Brook ST in Botanical Garden. Esther Brooks, I don't know, I can only speak for the medium and the stub and maybe the fine nibs, but, oh, and the broad nibs, I should say. I've never bought one with an extra fine nib or a journaler or anything like that. But I find these pens handle shimmer ink quite well. So this one has sort of got a shimmer and a sheen ink in it. So, and it's a fairly new ink for me. So, mm, it's the Esterbrook ST in Botanical Garden. It has a medium nib on it and is inked with. Now, this is a collaboration with Pulp Addiction, so it's the Van Diemen's. Exclusive with Pulp Addiction. And I believe it's from their series of Lost Vistas. And it's Libraries of Alexandra. Is it Alexander? Mm, Oh, Alexandria. So Libraries of Alexandria. And you're probably not seeing it in this light, but it has a bit of a greeny sort of sheen to it and a little bit of shimmer. But it's a beautiful deep red, so that burgundy deep red as a base. So I love those colors. The next one we've got is also I'm using a sample from the ones that we swatched, and I've actually used the sample up now. So this is the Watermelon Karine in amber. Mine has a medium nib on it. This is a beautiful pen to write with. Mm, Just sort of adjusting here. Okay. I love this color graining. Now I usually like the deeper greens, but every now and then I like a lighter green. So this is the watermelon green. It's in amber. It has an 18 karat medium nib and is inked with Colorverse Schrodinger. And as I said, that was a sample. I have used that sample up now. So, and I can actually see just with that juicy medium nib that it actually gets a little bit of shading within the writing as well, which is nice. The next one we've got here is the Mont Blanc Myto Stock. This is a small one, so a lot of people go for the 149 or the 146. This is actually the 145. And let me just actually get out this Sailor 1911 so you can have a bit of an idea. So the Mont Blanc is just a tad longer than the 1911, but it is the same width. So if you like the width of a 1911 standard, you might like the width of the Mont Blanc 145. So keep that in mind. The 145 is actually a lot cheaper than the 145 is a lot cheaper than the 149 as well. This is a gorgeous bright ink. So this is the Mont Blanc Meisterstück. It's the classic 145. I got mine in the rose gold finish, like black with the rose gold. It has an 18 karat fine nib, which almost writes like a medium, and is inked with Mont Blanc Irish green. A lovely pen to write with. Now, on to these beauties. So the next one I have here is the Twisby Diamond 580. Mine has a medium nib on it. And I really, really love this ink. I've been very fortunate to be given a sample of it, and then I was given the little 12 ml bottle from the Ink Bank calendar. So this is a Twisby Diamond 580. It is in white and rose gold. Has a medium nib and is inked with Diamine, Inkvent, Cashmere Rose. Just a lovely colour. As you can see, like this is a medium nib. That is a fine nib. This is a steel nib, obviously. That's a gold nib. But look at the difference in the writing, how different it is. So that's the other thing. Like sometimes people go, oh, I only like fine nibs. But there is a broad spectrum of fine nibs out there that can provide different writing experiences as well. So that's another thing to consider when you're buying a pen. The next one we've got here is the Lummy Vista. I actually put a stub nib on this. And this is an ink that I have not used in a really long time. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to put it in and try it in this stub. So this is Lummy Vista. It's performing beautifully, by the way, because I have been writing with these pens over the last couple of days. So Lummy Vista, this has got the 1.1 stub nib and is inked with Troublemaker. This ink shades beautifully as well. Troublemaker, and it's called Kelp Tea. I bought this ink purely because it had the word tea in it. And I do love it, but it's quite a lighter ink. So I usually try and put it in a broad nib or a stub nib just so I can get to see that beautiful shading within the ink. So that's the next one. And then after that, we've got the Twisby Eco Cafe and Bronze. And I'm just going back over my notes to make sure I've write the right thing in here. Okay, yeah. So this has actually got the last of that ink in here too. Twisby Eco, it's in the Cafe and Bronze. I've shared some of this ink, but it goes to show just how much I have used this particular ink as well. So Cafe Bonds, this one has a broad nib on it and is inked with Robert Oster toffee. I may have to get another bowl of this ink because I just love it so much. And it's similar to the Cafe Crema, but just slightly different. So when I got samples of the Robert Oster toffee and the Robert Oster Cafe Crema. I remember liking the toffee more than the Cafe Crema, so I bought a bottle of the toffee, and that's just what I've used for a long time. But this year I got a bottle of the Cafe Crema, and I'm loving that for my Just Turnings custom copper line. So, but this is a beautiful brown ink for those of you who like those tones. And then last but not least, and oh wow, I can even fit it on this page, is my new pen, the Kuco Brass Sport, which I'm very excited about and is already patinaing and just has that morning weathered lovely feel about it already. So you can actually see where I've had my thumb and my hand. So beautiful, love it, and writes wonderfully, I should say. So this is the Waco Brass Sport. Has a medium nib on it and is inked with one of my favorite deep red inks, inked with Diamine Syrah. I don't I don't actually see many people in the pen community use this. They tend to go for ox blood or writer's blood, but and I've tried those before and I've had samples of them, but this is the one that is the winner for me. It's the Diamine Syrah. I just love it. I've been using it for a good 6, 7 years, or probably 7 years now, and it's still my favorite of that deep red sort of color family. So that's all the pens we've got here for you today. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 pens. That's pretty good, isn't it? Let's see if we can move them all out here the sides so they don't roll off. That's always a bit of a problem. So I've got to take a photo for the thumbnail too. So, and tell me, like, what was your favorite out of all of those? All of the pen and ink pairings, which one do you think is the one that you would pick to write with if you had a choice? So I'm just going to lie them down like that. I know you can't see their things, but they're clips. But let's do that. I don't know if we're going to have enough room on here. Maybe. And I think too, I wanted some of these pens just for um, autumn as well. Like they've got those rich sort of reddy brown tones. And then we'll just fit this other little one on the end here. There we go. So that is my pen lineup for May. 12 pens, and I guess we'll just see how they go and if they perform nicely. If I write one dry, especially this one tends to write dry the first, like usually out of all of them. So I will probably re-ink that one with the same ink. And I'm not sure about the others, but I'm really enjoying this Lummy Vista with the stub nib and with the Troublemaker Kelp tea. That's been lovely to write with. And as I said, beautiful to use that stub nib and see that chroma shading within the writing as well. Um, so that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I should probably talk about too, just quickly, because I know we're getting on for time now, but I do have a Patreon that monthly postcard paper hugs go out to, and there's also a Snail Mail fan club, which you receive 5 sheets of fountain pen friendly letter writing paper that I've designed, a postcard from the previous tier, and then you also get some stickers as well. And it all gets sent to you in a designed an envelope that's been designed by me as well. So I've got the Australian tier and the international tier for that as well as the postcard paper hugs. And then recently I've loaded up some digital envelope designs in my Ko-fi store. So I'll put a link to that below as well. And that has been a great deal of fun putting those together and having them available for everyone. So if you don't want to sign up for a monthly subscription, um, there is the option to purchase a digital envelope as well from there. Oops. So, but with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you all are going okay. You're staying safe. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I do appreciate it. Take care, everyone, and see you back here next time. Bye.